Hey everybody, welcome to DatSmokeShow, episode 12. This week we got Wesingine with us. How's it going, Wes?
Big up, Ponics. Big up, Monkey Do. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody out there in TV land is living their best life. But yeah, man, welcome.
Also got Monkey Do.
Or we did.
I guess his mic is having issues.
No, man, I got you right. I had the damn mic muted with a mute button. Yeah, I'm here. Hey guys, everybody's out there in podcast land is nice and high tonight with something nice to smoke. Monkey made a mistake just starting off.
It's all good. It's been a fun day. Today's our I'll have to check this in a moment. 1 second. What's new with you, Wes?
Well, let's see. Spent the whole day building a new computer to get it all ready for the show, and then right before the last minute, I realized my webcam program isn't working properly, so I couldn't use that one. So all that for nothing. Things are moving along quite well in the grow. Got a bunch of big mothers that I still haven't taken my clones off yet, and gonna put the mothers into flower and tee up some new moms, and as well as a whole new batch of clones off of it. Looking to pop some new seeds. How about you, Monkey? What's new with you these days?
Oh, not much, man. I was telling I guess we go into this. This may take a while. I was telling Potent before we started up here that I finally got my volcano in.
Very nice. Very nice.
From overseas, it literally came through war-torn Eastern Europe. It came from Poland. It originated there, but my mighty came with a surprise, and this is not a good one either.
What do you mean? What?
Well, I mean, you have a volcano hybrid, so you know how they come packaged. It's the black box, the cube it comes in, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, it's coming from overseas, so there's an outer box. And that's great for shipping and all that stuff like that. So the thing arrived on Tuesday afternoon. Excitedly, I see the FedEx guy pull up, and I run up and grab my package, and no problem. Now I quit work. I mean, it's by 3:30 in the afternoon. I got my volcano. I'm done for the day, kind of thing. So I go in the house and you get your knife out and slice open the first box and checking it out very carefully, looking at it. Everything looked pretty good. I was so excited. I didn't look at it too closely. Lift the outer box out of the way, move it out to the side, and opened up the inner box. Unpacked. I found a tray full of bags and hoses and bowls and adapters. Moved that out to the side. Next thing you know, you move the styrofoam packing out the way. And I grabbed the actual base and take it out. And I set it down on the table. And all of a sudden, my head just kind of starts, I don't know, it wasn't right. Something wasn't right. Couldn't figure out how to put the thing together. Just kept looking at it going like, what's wrong? I start grabbing the hose and I start trying to jam it into the base. And all of a sudden, I started laughing. And I'm talking not just giggling. I'm talking maniacal, top of your lungs, acid, LSD laugh.
What'd you do?
I got spiked. Somebody had dosed it somewhere, and then unpacking it, I touched something, and I was high for 2 damn days. My wife was sitting in on the computer working, and she all of a sudden hears me, and I mean, the laugh wasn't just a funny ha ha ha. This is about a maniac about ready to kill somebody laugh. She comes running in, and she grabs me, touches me, and she gets a contact buzz. So both of us are sitting here totally out of the blue, middle of the afternoon, buzzed out of our mind on acid. Let me tell you, it was a fun 5 days coming right there. So it's been an interesting week, to say the least.
God damn.
You always hear about these stories. I read about them, but I've never known anybody that got spiked like this before. It's crazy, man. There's so much black space in my memory. I don't remember so much of it. I remember bits of it with the help of the wife. She was high for about 6 hours, so she didn't get much of a buzz. She was able to sleep it off after about 6 hours, but that took me at least 36 hours before I could actually get down and get any rest. And then it was 3 days of the stomach cramps and the sweats and everything you know about it. It's like, oh my God. It was not a good experience.
Not when you're not expecting it.
No, so
Right.
that's where I was last Wednesday, high as a kite, laughing my ass off, trying to figure out what the heck I could do about this thing. But it's interesting because when you're in prohibition land doing what I'm doing right here, growing weed, it's not like you can actually call somebody or even go get medical help because there's too many questions are going to be asked. So you got to basically just kind of suck it up and do what you got to do.
One word of advice: if you find yourself in the situation that he did, do not take acetaminophen. I'd made the mistake of taking Tylenol after taking a quite hefty dose, allegedly, of some LSD, and had a horrific set of side effects that I don't wish on anybody. So definitely don't make the mistake that I did. Acetaminophen and psychedelics do not mix.
Now, I don't usually take acetaminophen, but I don't remember what I did too much that night. But I do remember then after I started coming out of it, finding things that were like, what is this doing here? I had left things all over. Evidently, I was rearranging. Who knows? But it was, some of it was fun. When I was laughing and happy, that was great. But the blackouts, I really don't know what I was doing. And I do remember watching, the missus wanted to watch Jeopardy. She loves to watch Jeopardy. So she turned it on. And the host of Jeopardy was there on the screen, and I started screaming at her, turn it off, turn it off, turn it off now. And she couldn't figure out what was going on. Well, if you look at it, if you ever watched the new Jeopardy and you watch right when the show starts and it's showing the host, the background has lines in it that very subtly shimmer left and right, left and right. And it was just messing with my mind, man. I couldn't deal with that. It's like, oh, no. Get it off of there quick. I mean, that stuff just messed my perception completely up. And this was coming from a complete psychedelic virgin. So this was not the place for me to get my introduction dose at all, ever. So I think I've had my dose. I don't think I'm going back.
Yeah, I mean, set and setting is a huge part of a proper experience.
That's
You
what
need to be
everybody
safe
tells
and comfortable.
Yeah. Unfortunately, when you're surprised like this, you don't really get the opportunity to choose anything. But a couple of years back, before I even bought my first handheld vape, I remember researching the volcano some, and I cannot remember what vape website it was on, but I remember the more than one. There was 2 reviews at a specific website, and they talked about a surprise inside of the box, the legendary laugh. So when I read that, it kind of stuck in my mind. And so when this thing started happening, and I started immediately, when I started laughing, I'm going like, oh, hell, it's happened to me. So I was at least clued in at what possibly was going on. And then the missus had small experience, not big experience, small with some psychedelics way back in the day. So she kind of knew what I needed to do and where I needed to be. And because she wasn't so high, that kind of helped the situation out. But I was thinking, imagine this vape showing up at little old lady's house who's a new medical cancer patient. And here's the caregiver unpacking the vape, and all of a sudden, bam, that would not be a good situation.
I had a chance to try a DMT vape at a festival this year, and that was definitely a different experience. It wasn't, it was weird to have to take a bunch of hits to kind of get to where you'd normally want to be. That was very strange, but also just, to me, that's crazy because people are going to end up like accidentally dosing themselves into that kind of situation. If you're not used to or prepared for that, you're going to have a really bad experience. You're going to think you're dying or something. You know what I mean? You're going to not understand what's going on and freak out. And that's not good for anybody involved.
No, it's not. And like I said, fortunately, because I'm around this community enough and I'm aware enough of what things do, I figured out pretty quickly what was going on. So I had read enough about it and know enough people who have been through it that it kind of gave me an idea. Okay, what I just basically need to do is remember to stay calm, stay home, and you'll get out of this. And that's all you do. You ride it out. But yeah, it would have been a lot more fun if I would have had, the right music, maybe the right food, the right people around, and then you could have had, fun.
Yeah.
But that was a few interesting experiences. I do vividly remember some lucid dreaming I was doing, flying around the house through the walls and windows. And it was so weird because I could physically feel in a lucid dream, when I passed through a window, I could feel the glass going through your body. I mean, it's amazing what your mind can do.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, if somebody would have told me that a couple of weeks back, that they flew through a window and felt the glass going through them, I would think you're crazy. But now I know what they're talking about. It's weird, man. I don't think I want to do that again.
That's good once in a while. It resets you, keeps you grounded.
It definitely is a reset. And lately, since I got rid of the stomach aches, the headaches, and the sweats from it, every morning you wake up, you just feel happy to be there. You know, it's one of those.
If it was stomach aches and sweats and stuff, they didn't clean it enough.
I don't know what friend. I described the smells that were involved, and he believes it was the old. I think he called it the wheat mold. Does that sound right?
Oh, ergotamine.
Yeah, it was a very musty kind of moldy kind of a smell in the box. And so he said it's probably was that based upon the smell. I don't know. I'm not an expert. I have no idea what it was.
But it was a vape?
No, this was smeared on a piece of styrofoam. And when I can see the smear. I mean, for a brand new Mighty coming packed from Storts and Bickel, shouldn't have a smear on the brand new polystyrene. And there's definitely a discoloration smear on it. So I'm assuming that's where it was. It was not a vape. I touched it. It absorbed through the skin, and then my wife came, touched my hand, and she got it.
Man, that's some other chemical dropped on that polystyrene, made some brand new drug.
I have no idea what it was, bro, but I was high. I was so crazy high. It was unbelievable. And S&B won't even answer, like, dude, what happened here? And the shipper won't even answer. It's like, dude, what happened? It's crazy. So I say, hey, I'm going on DatSmokeShow, and let's go and tell YouTube what the hell happened.
There you go. I'm going to get sued now. It's great.
Not a problem. I got proof. My wife video recorded me a little bit. So yeah, I got the packing material if they want to lab it. But hell, dude, that was crazy.
That sounds like LSD and MCT oil or something like that.
I don't know what it was, man. I don't do that stuff. So, I mean, if you do, if that's your thing, more power to you. But I was excited, so I don't know.
Either way, we can say props to the chemist for a good job, right?
It was as stealth as can be. It left almost no trace. Yeah, I mean, this is like the delivery system from hell.
Someone in chat asked how the IMO gathering is going. I'll actually be gathering the boxes up today.
Yes.
And then like 2 hours, they'll be coming back with the crickets from the market. And then we're going to mix the crickets with the rice. And then we got a bunch of little baskets. And we're going to try putting the baskets out. And then after that, we're going to try like 50-50. So we'll try baskets versus boxes. And we're going to do a bunch of different side-by-sides and have fun with it and do lots of filming. We're also translating everything to English and Thai. So we have a separate, one of the family members here is filming everything right next to me, and then they're putting it out in Thai, so that the Korean natural farming stuff will be available in the Thai language for the first time. So that's really, really great.
Yeah, but
super happy to be part of that. I remember how big it was when I met Chris and learned all the different Korean natural farming stuff. So it's super cool to help bring that kind of stuff to a new place. What's new in your garden there, Monkey Dew?
Just chopping right now, drying, getting ready to start something else. I foolishly decided I had a whole bunch of strawberry cough cuttings, so I threw them in water and decided just to see how they would root. And I guess unfortunately, I found out that they all rooted no matter what you did. So in my micro grow, I've now got 24 clones that I need to figure out what to do with. So I think I'm going to sog them in and just run them that way. So that'll be my next project, just to sog the tent with clones and force them all fast. Go for a quick turnaround.
Nice. We have like 8 different Thai strains going right now here, that we have 40 to 60 or 80 of each. So we have more seeds too. So if we burn through all those and we don't like anything, we can try some more. I went up and visited, if you guys can check out my Instagram or YouTube, I went and visited some people up in the hills. We'll be visiting some more people this weekend at a different part of the country, down near Buri Ram. And we're going to go film the cannabis market on Saturday. And Buri Ram, they have a big open air cannabis market. That's kind of like the veggie market that I've posted and showed with you guys. So that's going to be really cool. So we're going to go down there and try and do some filming and kind of show off, what Asia is doing on the cannabis side and one of the most liberal parts of the country. So Buri Ram is where a lot of the legislation started for legalization. So it's quite a bit different down there. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And then I'm going to go meet up with some friends tonight. We have Juke, who's Canatai Seeds. He's going to be on the show here in about 11 hours or so on the Growing with Fishes show. We're going to do it on Thursday morning instead of Thursday evening because I have to travel on Friday morning to go down to Buri Ram. So normally the show is 9:30 in the morning my time. So we're going to do it a little bit early, unfortunately, because of the travel time. But we'll still have a show for you this week. And I have a cool little fun video for you guys that'll air when the show normally would air. And I think you guys will have a good laugh and some fun with it. So definitely check that out. We're going to do the Steve Smokes Thai brickweed because we've had so many requests. So that'll be on at the normal show time. And then I think we'll do the Steve tries all the weird chip flavors and that we've have currently. So this is chili crab.
Damn, I'd try some chili crab. It's probably pretty good.
Got nori seaweed, so basically sushi flavored. What else do we get? Oh,
Right.
you guys will like this one, the Heinz mayonnaise. Heinz mayonnaise.
Man.
Lay's. Great. And then we have some truffle chips. But I can get all kinds of, there's so many funky ones. So I thought it'd just be kind of fun to like try them and watch you guys make fun of me. So.
Nice.
Figure you guys would enjoy that.
The mayonnaise chips, they'd be big in Holland, man.
Yo, those are so good. I that's the one I've bought like a bunch of bags of those because those are straight up tasty as hell.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's definitely my my weirdo thing. But yeah, if anyone's down near Buri Ram, hit me up on Instagram or whatever, and we'll check you out. We also might stop at the Cobra Temple is on the way as well. So there's a temple where the monks maintain the huge population of cobras. So that's kind of cool. So we might stop there and check that out. So there's all kinds of like there's so many Buddhist temples here in Thailand. Everywhere we drive, there's like a huge, couple 100-foot statue of Buddha, and they're all different types of designs and have different meanings and different importance to different people, different groups of Buddhists, and it's really neat and very the intricacies of the artwork is really crazy. Also, the Buddhists really know how to party. I'll say that.
Nice.
We had our first day today of getting everyone used to medical scrubs. So everyone's working in scrubs now, so that we can maintain cleanliness on the site. So kind of slowly easing into the IPM stuff and all the biosecurity stuff with the team here in Thailand. Try to introduce a little bit each day so they don't get overwhelmed. That's fun.
Nice. You want to hear about
Other than that, we have what's that?
You want to hear about bear issues this week?
Sure. I was just going to mention too before we switch gears that we have currently about 800 seedlings going that we're going to pheno hunt. We have another like 400 cultivars coming that we're either acquiring or are in mail. You can mail seeds legally within Thailand, which is pretty great, and all this stuff. So we're getting together with some other cool people and trading some stuff and all that. So it's working out really nicely. But we'll have about 500-600 strains total that we're going to pheno hunt through. And then once we find some good stuff that grows well here, we have I'll show you guys, we actually have a whole indoor facility we're building out for breeding, as well as lab work and all that fun stuff. So you guys will really like it. We'll have a HPLC, and I'm looking into possibly getting a micropin DNA sampler, which is better than a sequencer. We're just getting some pricing right now with a friend of mine. So we might even have something better than a qPCR here, so we can like fully identify anything that we run into and then map out the DNA of what's going on and really understand these strains, which is going to be really cool. I haven't had access to, the ability to test all of the terpenes and cannabinoids on site at the breeding facility before, which is going to be really awesome.
That's crazy. I never even heard of one of those before.
Yep. Yeah, shout out to Matt Powers for turning me onto that.
Cool. Yeah, man.
We'll get him on the show here sometime. I keep inviting him, but he's got different stuff going on sometimes on Wednesdays, but he will join us sometime. If you aren't familiar, check him out. He's a great dude, super knowledgeable when it comes to soil science, and very much a hater of bro science. So definitely check him out because he really knows what he's talking about. And he can explain why and has data that he's generated himself to back it up and all that stuff. It's not just regurgitating things. He's great. He has a bunch of wonderful classes too. If you, short plug for Matt.
I was gonna say that Landrace farm you went to on Instagram, that looked pretty cool.
Yeah, I can throw that up here real quick if you guys want to see it again. Yeah, so that was up in the hills of Petraboon. We're gonna go back and get some seeds from them in a couple of weeks. We gave him some stuff, so we're gonna go back and he's gonna give us some seeds off of his Thai stuff, which I'm super stoked on because that one particular female straight up smells like lemon bubblegum and gasoline. It's really great. See if I can get the video.
That combination, lemon bubblegum and gasoline.
Yeah, I know that sounds horrible. Maybe if you're not into cannabis, but it straight up smelled like Bazooka Joe. It was the weirdest shit. I don't know why my internet connection here, full disclosure, is not the best until we're working on getting a better internet here, but this is the best I can do for temporary.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, maybe Wes or can share it.
Man, I think I'm gonna overtax my computer doing it. Next week I'll be able to share whatever you want.
All right. Anyways, you can go to my YouTube or to my Instagram. You can see that I posted a bunch of pictures. I try to get a bunch of pictures of like the structure of the different plants as well, so people can like use that to evaluate their own cultivars at home and things like that, whether or not they're Thai, and just trying to give you a couple of different pictures of the males and females and things, so that trying to give you something actually useful rather than just some pretty pictures of the close-ups. What was interesting is one of the males was completely finished when most of the females were just starting, and I was like, man, I wonder if any of his pollen made it onto any of these females, because if it did, those early finishing seeds are going to be really fast finishers.
Yeah, no, that could definitely speed things up.
So I pointed out 2 plants from him. I said, look, save all the seeds from these. I'd like to, buy or trade you for a percentage of the seeds. He's like, no problem. So we'll go back and get some more of those. But I'm going to try and, I think every other week or whatever, we're going to try and get out and visit some of these other farms and friends of theirs and stuff, and try to get access to more traditional Thai stuff, and, talk to some of the Rastas and some of the other people that, that's the one benefit of having long dreads. The Rastas immediately are willing to talk to you. So
instant friend.
Yeah, instant friend. Exactly. And so far, I've yet to see anyone with longer dreads than me in this whole country. So I'm sure it'll happen, but I don't think there's that many.
Is that like with the samurai, not the height of the top knot? The length of the dread is like the king.
Exactly. Well, it's just dedication. It takes a long time. My dreads will be 11 years old next month. So.
I hear you.
It takes a long, just thousands of hours into my hair at this point. Like,
it's been there so long.
I just had
your hair has finally now.
I trained so we have a housekeeper here, and I trained her on how to do dreads and all that stuff on Monday, so that I can get my dreads done. Also, and this is going to sound horrible or maybe a little bit colonialist, but goddamn, do I miss having a housekeeper.
I don't have one, so I could see
It's
why it would be nice.
it's one of the nicer things of being in a third world country.
Oh yes, and very affordable.
But like yeah, mine personally was like family. I go visit mine. I have uncles I don't go visit when I go back to Antigua, and I go visit my housekeeper every time.
Oh yeah. Well, they take care of you, right? They're like family. That's why you gotta take care of them.
Yeah, man.
But
Particularly
yeah,
the
I mean,
Tims
like
are.
I get up in the morning, I go to the grow, and by the time I'm like done working in the grow in the morning, like and come back in for like late breakfast or lunch, like all my laundry's done, my bed's made, like food's cooked for lunch. Like, how do you get complain with that? It's fucking great.
It's pretty
Yeah,
good.
yeah, easy to get used to.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, so I guess the biggest thing with the Thai cultivars was all of them are lemon. Like everything I've smelled so far that was very much like native Thai, at least in this part of the in Petrobun, was all lemon or had some degree of limonene in it. So um, I don't particularly like limonene, but whatever.
I do,
Um,
but though it's always a short burn. Like you don't stay high very long on lemon weed, I find. But I love the smell and
oh yeah, it tastes good, but to me it makes me a
yeah.
little more edgy, like on edge
Okay, I
than
can
other
see
stuff.
that. I can see that. I totally see that.
A little more uncomfortable, kind of high.
Yeah. I totally can
Um,
see that.
so that's been the biggest thing. But like I said, that one cultivar had this bubble gum and a little bit of earthiness to it, like a little bit of that kind of funk, like foot funk to it, and gasoline on the back end at the end kind of flavor. And it was just it clearly had a very radically different terpene profile than all the other plants out of the 60 or 70 that he had out there. So that'll be interesting. And then all of them are open pollinated, right? So be good for breed stock.
Yeah, man.
But
Should
I'm
find
hoping to get in
something.
some more of those grows and visit some more people that have been growing out here for a long time and supporting some of the people. We've been reaching out to many of the friends of the show and friends of my other show about genetics, and then people within the country that have reached out to me on Instagram. It's just the kind of people I want to support, right? Like
Yeah, man.
now that I have a commercial customer that wants to get access to a bunch of those, that's how we can support the community. If you are doing it in a position of consulting or something else, and you like certain breeders, support them when you have access, the ability to do that with these types of situations. So,
Yeah, man.
and not only that, but some of these breeders are really hooking it up with some cool stuff. Shout out to everybody that's doing it. I won't name names in case anyone wants to remain hidden because of the international aspect of it. But thank you to all the people that are supporting us currently, and we got a bunch of cool stuff that I think you guys have heard of or seen before that are coming that are going to be good for us here.
Paper planes fly a long way.
They do.
Mhm.
What about you, Wes? Tell us about your bear adventures.
Okay, well, I ended up getting run off of a job by a grizzly bear last week. You know how they have like highway crews that'll go out and they'll move the dead animals off. Well, the
Okay.
friggin' the highway crews went off and they pulled it back into the bush back by where I was working. So I show up in the morning and fucking and there's a grizzly bear. Like he's just wandering around. I'm like, fuck, he disappears. And I'm like, I remembered seeing the dead moose on the way in. I'm like, he's looking for that fucking dead moose. And just because it was just foul, it was just smelling rotten. And so he came and he circled around and like literally we watched him leave and then come back, and then like once he found the kill, then he got like it was like all broken up, and like it was just the crows were pulling it apart, and so it's too much for him to drag off and bury. So he locked in and just started defending it, and he got caught wind of us down from him, and he came out and he came right up and he was just like charging right down the road towards us. And like we just jumped in the truck and he just kind of stopped short and fucking went back, and we're just like, fuck this, we're getting out of here. Called the fucking guy we're working for, and we're like, this is ridiculous, man. So anyways, they get a bulldozer in there, and they push this carcass down the line into the bush further, so it won't be a problem for us anymore. And doesn't a semi truck hit another moose, and the fucking highway guy pulls another one right back into the exact same spot? Like, I'm not even kidding. I'm not even joking. I was laughing my ass off. We get back
no,
there.
but the nice thing is, if it's a fresh one, you just get the knife out and cut some back straps. You got some nice dinner, man. Like, there's no reason to let that meat go to waste. Like, fuck that. Especially if you just hit them. If it's a couple hours fresh, man, fuck it. Like, get the knife out. Maybe I'm a bit of a redneck or live with rednecks too long, but if you see a fresh deer, elk, or moose kill, man, that's free freezer meat.
Yeah, just find this part that wasn't hit, so it's not bruised.
Well, see, we're not allowed to take them here. I know in the States you guys can get like your cops will tell you can take them.
Yeah, Colorado, it's $5. It's a $5 tag.
See, people would truck hunt here. They go get a shitty vehicle.
put a grill on the front.
Oh yeah, fucking knives on it.
I hit it with the truck.
Drive it right back to the driveway.
Nice long spears. You get them lined up on the front. Spears on the front.
Yeah, no, these Burtons are way more redneck. They've already thought out other ways of hunting and killing that you haven't even figured out yet.
That's pretty great. We have monocle cobras and pit vipers and shit here, but last night the dogs opened the door and we had a swarm of mosquitoes in the house. That was fun. But such as life in the rice paddies.
Yeah, well, I imagine they're bad there, hey?
So I was swimming last night. We had worked all day, and I had like an hour or so right before dinner. So I went for a swim, and as soon as the sun went down, I got swarmed. But before the sun went down, it was fine. But there's it's like Jamaica or Antigua, right? You have like that right before sundown, and then like 2 or 3 hours after, and then once it's like 10 or 11 o'clock, they're kind of done, right? Yeah. Like they're around, but they're not near as bad.
Yeah, no,
so,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I am excited to do lots of different KNF work here. We're gonna try and make Jacobah, which is a very unique a tropical fungal growth. It's aquatic fungi that you can grow in rice wash. So we're going to work on that because I've only seen it in Indonesia, but we're not that far away, right? So we should be able to collect it here. And then we're going to do IMO collections in rice fields. We're going to work on AIMO collections and a bunch of other stuff. So that'll be a lot of fun to do video content on.
Nice. So best food, anything better? Still the
food
ribs.
Wise?
Still the ribs.
The ribs are good. We had tartar yesterday, beef tartar. I've never had raw beef before. That was the first for me.
Basically raw hamburger. Yeah.
Basically hamburger meat that's flavored more.
After Wes's conversation, I have to ask though, was that roadkill?
No.
Okay.
I have had wild boar here though. Thai wild boar, and that was pretty good. And I had crocodile. That was also pretty good. But anytime I see something weirder on the menu, I try to order it.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
what's this pit viper coated with alligator?
So the grocery stores here are interesting, right? So the meat section, they'll just have like a whole like ice, and then a whole pile of chicken legs or chicken thighs or whatever, right? Like the same way they serve fish.
Just
so that's all meat.
Rice and leave it out with the flies.
Yeah, just half buried in ice and you're good. You can dig around. They have snakehead fish. That's like a really popular one. In fact, it's one of my favorites. They have like dried snakehead where they like smoke it and dry it, and that's really good. Yeah.
Now
you make that like saltfish with rice or what?
No. They just take it and they smoke it and dry it, and then you just eat it kind of like a seasoned.
Okay, you just eat it so
a lightly seasoned jerky, like fish jerky almost. But it's cool because it's like a good snack you can travel with or whatever, keep in your pocket. When you're hungry, you can munch on it.
Snakehead jerky. Got it.
I'm trying to think what else has been maybe different here. All of the condiments have way too much sugar in it here. I guess that's ketchup is super sweet. Mayonnaise is super sweet. Like
whoa. Ketchup
everything.
Sweeter than North America?
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
It's like,
Yeah, it's worse
yeah.
than Heinz.
Tomato syrup is what they're serving to them.
Yeah. But hey, the Heinz mayonnaise chips make up for it.
That's just, I don't know, that's just too Southern to me, man. Mayonnaise on everything,
Okay, honest to God, the best chips that Lay's makes is they make a biscuits and gravy potato chip that is more addictive than heroin.
I just can't believe that. I mean, some of the combinations, biscuits and gravy. What is this, Larry the Cable Guy?
They make chicken and waffles fries too, which are not too bad.
Crazy.
Hell yeah.
It's like fried chicken and like maple syrup. It's the weirdest flavor.
They put anything on the chip.
Then again, I used to eat chicken fingers with honey, so I guess it's not that much different.
No. I mean, that's true. I mean, McDonald's had a honey dipping sauce for their chicken nuggets. So yeah.
Bug wise, scouting a bunch of different places so far. Russet mite or broad mites. I found broad mites out here, which again, the broad mites that I've found here, they behave like broad mites, but they are smaller than any broad mite I've ever seen in the US. Like broad mites I've seen in the US are generally about the size of russet mites. These ones are like half the size. They're like a smaller genus or smaller species or something that's just even tinier. So I haven't encountered that before. So that was interesting. And then the spider mites here are pretty bad, or prevalent. You can find them anywhere.
Mhm.
And then there's this weird nymph. I found this weird, as best I can tell, it's either a lace bug or it's a nymph of a stink bug or something in the shield bug family. But I found them up in the mountains, but I didn't see them down here yet. So trying to just photograph anything I encounter so that I can idea it, or at least have an idea of what to expect on the farm to prepare for pest management.
Now, do you just find the spider mite problems if like where you have large congregations of plants, or is it just everywhere?
Everywhere I've seen
everywhere.
something. And it's not even like cannabis grows, right? Like I could go across the street and just go into the bush and find a plant that has it, or powdery mildew. I can find both of those things within walking distance from the farm. Just in the forest when we were out IMO collecting, I was kind of looking at the leaves and seeing what's what in the forest. Because we have a forest patch two forest patches nearby. One used to be a cemetery, and now no one cultivates on it because there's that's disrespectful, but it's not really maintained either because it's old. And then the other one is just a patch of forest to use for forest wood.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's good times. Other than that, just getting used to all the different creepy crawlies. We have centipedes and stuff like that we have to watch out for, and scorpions and spiders and all the normal stuff.
Their centipedes get the 18 inches like down in Jamaica and Antigua.
Yes. Yeah, we got the big giant ones with the nasty bite that can make your legs
so fucking
groovy.
those are the worst thing to get bit by.
I was explicitly warned not to walk in the grass at night barefoot. Or wear your shoes at night kind of thing.
And they're fast too. Like they're hard to catch when they come in across the floor, man. They're just like gone.
That's what cats are for.
Boy, I feel sorry for any cat that grabs that boy.
Cats are killers. They're good at it. They're
They
good
are,
at decapitating stuff.
but like that, if they can get catched by that boy, latte. They hurt, man. They hurt.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think what else has been just kind of getting used to all the different things, aspects out here. Road rules are more like guidelines. Or like the Caribbean, it's like suggestions. So that takes a bit of getting used to. Also, we're on the British side of the road. So
oh, right. Oh, that's
also mentally
takes more
takes a
natural
minute
for
to
me.
get used to.
Yeah.
Yeah, mentally that takes a bit of memory to get used to. So
yeah, it does.
Um, getting used to motorbikes again. That's another one. It's been a while since I rode around on a motorcycle. So if I want to go off on my own, I only have the bike. So for now, at least.
Yeah, man.
The owner's mother is visiting, so she's got the spare stuff.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
How's the
Fun.
doggos doing?
They're doing
Back
good.
home.
I have a
Yeah.
good friend of mine watching them, so we're living it up on the farm, swimming every day, and,
Nice.
terrorizing the local coyote population. So they're doing their part.
Right on. Right on. Nice.
I think that their other dogs have taught them how to go after coyotes. So gives them something to stay sporting.
Yep.
Keeps them in shape. But at the one farm, they brought down a deer. I felt a little bit bad about that, but it was like, cool. I don't have to feed him tonight.
Did I tell you about when my Saint Bernard caught the little fawn, but like she's so like tame, she didn't know what to do. She just like jumped on it and held it down with her paws, and then she's like looking at my German Shepherd's like, kill it, like just like coming in for the kill. And I like tackled the German Shepherd, and I'm like, Skittles, let her go. And Skittles just like gets off her, and the deer walks away. But, yeah.
You don't need
See
a
there's some
gun.
stuff
Just
in
put the dog on the deer, right?
Right. Well, I'll tell you what, my female is good at bringing shit down. She took down a wild boar before I got her in Texas. So that's impressive,
That's pretty
right? That's an aggressive animal.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And smart.
And smart. Yeah. So she also would bait squirrels. So she'd collect nuts and put them in the center of the yard and then hide underneath the shed. And then when the squirrels
Brilliant.
would come out to get the nuts, she'd ambush them.
Your dog was a trapper.
She's smart as fuck. Like I'm telling you, any of the coyote dogs or wolf dogs, coy dogs or wolf dogs, both of them are just the level of intel. They're more like a 12-year-old kid, right? They're much smarter than a normal dog, and they're problem solving things in terms of like solving things that take multiple steps. Not even close. Like it's not. They think much more like a human than any of the, or much more intelligently, I guess, for problem solving than any other pet I've ever owned. I had a question from chat. It says, do you have any tips for choosing IMO collection spots? Well, for me here, bamboo. Bamboo is heavy in IMO. So we put most of ours in bamboo thickets, or older growth forests. But any older growth forest with lots of leaf litter, right? You want to be able to scrape the ground. I have videos on this. I want to wait until we finish the collection to edit it all together. But you'll see in the video that we have coming out later this week or next week. Well, I got some travel this weekend, but next week we'll probably release the IMO video. And you'll see how we go from preparation to going out to the forest, scraping with our foot, looking for where the spot is, showing you what, like all the mycorrhizae on the soil. That's where we want to put it. So we go through all that in the videos that are coming out next week. So you'll see that. And we'll be doing the same thing this week. I'll be recording later today with the IPMO, and then we'll collect that. And the next week we'll harvest that the end of the week, and then we'll have that for you guys to show as well. Working on it, making sure you have good video content for that.
Nice.
I was talking to Chris too. Also, if anyone wants to try this, we're going to be doing kind of a side-by-side on cooking your rice with regular water and then cooking your rice with coconut water for an IMO collection, because someone suggested to us, to myself, in fact, oh man, I feel bad for not having his name ready, but I will mention him in the video when we do the video content. So I have too many people hitting me up on Instagram since I got here. Gentlemen, whoever it is, you know who you are, will hit me up about, is it this one? No, I'm sorry. Hold on a second. Anyways, hit me up about using the coconut water for the cooking the rice, and that adding some extra stuff to growing mushrooms for IMO collections. So we're super excited to try that. Again, not the cheapest thing to do in the world in the US, but here
It's interesting.
Nothing.
It's interesting. I might try a diluted, like where you put a small percentage of coconut water and most of the rest are water. I wonder.
We have all the amino acids and the sugars and the other things that are in there. It makes a lot of sense that would help. So, but I want to do a side by side where we put two of them in the same area and, directly next to each other in like 5 or 6 places, and then see how that goes, because that's going to be a much better, tell on that.
Definitely would like to see that.
Yeah, that'll be
Yep, so that's coming.
That will be interesting.
Yeah, and then we're working on some lactobacillus stuff, a couple different methods for that. We're going to do a bamboo shoot lactobacillus for preparation, which I haven't seen anywhere online. So that's going to be fun. And then we're going to do some traditional lactobacillus preparations and kind of see if there's a benefit to one or the other. I have a triscope coming hopefully next week. So we can start putting all this stuff under the microscope and showing you guys exactly what the hell I'm looking at in terms of microbials. So I think you guys will really like that as well.
Cool.
Yeah. What cultivars are you growing right now, Wes?
I have Jaffa growing, Mac and Cream. What is the Grandpa's Stash? And that's pretty much about it right now. Oh, and I have some seedlings coming up that are Island Sweet Skunk.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love Island Sweet Skunk. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, but always a classic. Always good.
What about you, Monkey?
Oh, just waiting on a couple of them to ripen right now. I think Green Crack and what is the other one? Oh, it's Zittles. Excuse me. They hit me right when I took a hit. Zittles is the other one, and they're just probably a week away from cutting. And then it's going to basically be reset all 3 tenths and start square one, go again. So want to get Chad's Noritake Plaza in. I haven't done that one yet, and I've been anxious to get it in. So 1 tenth is going to go for that for sure. I'm anxious to see what he's got. Before it's released to the public, I'd like to at least pop a bean.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
But I don't have a lot of grow space, so no, it's only 6 plants for me at one time ever. So, but I have got a couple micros on the go. I don't know. I enjoy playing with the micros. It's not for yield. It's more just because I can.
Nice.
Find an interesting container and just, stick your favorite whatever in there, clone a seed and just bring it out to full maturation. I don't know, just enjoy seeing how much weed I can grow out of a beer can. Certain rules, keep everything inside the can, can't have roots hanging out, all that kind of stuff like that. And just see what you can do. So it's fun.
See, that's the unfortunate rule, because I think Potent could kill that contest with the solo cup if he was allowed to have his roots go outside of the thing.
That's not self-contained grow though. I mean, come on. When you work at a grow room and you have comps, you got to have certain rules. And I just like saying, yeah, I might as well go ahead and lay it into a flat sheet and then go ahead and do a thin film, nutrient film there. And basically I've got a 50 gallon container here worth of root base. Can't do that. No.
Just get a little aeroponic solo cup.
Yeah, I mean, well, why don't we just go ahead and drop the solo cup above the DWC and let the roots come down that way? I mean,
exactly. There you go. Perfect.
There's a lot of different ways to go with it. Yeah.
But I mean,
that's our rules of micro grow is usually that one rule is that you have to keep everything inside the cup. And we've got a lot of people over at the site right now getting interested. I've been playing with growing in coffee cups just for the hell of it for a couple 3 years now. It seems like people are starting to get interested in it. And so right now, I think we've got 5 people on the go doing this. So, and a few more are threatening to join us. So it looks like we got a little wave right now. It looks fun until you actually get your plant in this micro space and then you gotta manage everything.
That must be hard keeping things in check. I could see nutrient deficiencies going out of whack. Like,
well, not when you're running salts, brother.
That's true. That's true.
So yeah, I'm just running cocoa and keep the sponge wet all the time, and that's the easy one.
Cocoa would be the way to do it. That'd be the way to do that challenge, I think.
Yeah. Now we have had a guy over at the site. He had a very tiny toy Ponics kind of thing, and he actually did a micro grow in one of these toy Ponics thing. It was actually intended to be a small experiment with seedling and a fish, just kind of a thing like that. But he actually decided to go for full scale on it. And I think he ended up getting, I want to say, almost 40 grams off of the thing. So it's not bad for a little toy. You know, it was his first attempt. He said it was interesting because, of course, with DWC, the roots want to keep going and you've got almost no space in this toy. So he was having to take it out periodically and just scissors off the roots and stick it back in there. That's the only thing you could do, or else the roots grow into the pump and everything stops up. So he learned real fast that when you're growing in tiny spaces, you just got to do whatever it takes. The rules change.
That's crazy.
We used to do something similar with herbs in NFT systems. We'd cut the roots like that to boost terpene levels. So it improves essential oil production because basically the plant thinks it's got its roots under attack from insects or moles or something else. So it simulates that kind of thing and improves any of the different secondary SAR responses.
We used to use that trick with the root pruning on hibiscus that had overwintered, because down here, if it freezes back to the root, you'll still have a good stump that'll come out. But the problem is you've got all root down there and no top. So the plant goes into a full, nothing but green growth wants to do all year, and you want the flowers. So if you take a spade, let it get a little bit, maybe a foot or two up above the ground, and just take a shovel by maybe about 12 to 18 inches away from the base and just cut the roots in 3 or 4 places. It shocks the plant enough, and it's like it thinks it's going to die, so it starts flowering. Doesn't hurt the plant at all. It's an amazing response, but sometimes you just got to trick them. I can remember my grandfather used to, and I thought he was crazy till I actually watched him do it. I don't know why it worked, but he had a pear tree and it wouldn't produce fruit. And so one day he got a piece of rubber hose out there and he started wailing on the trunk of the tree. And I'll be damned if that year that tree didn't produce a bumper crop of fruit. And I have no idea what he did, but my mother swears that, yeah, he's done it all his life and it works. So go figure.
See, folks, when it comes to fruit trees, violence is the answer.
Sometimes it is. I don't know if he did something to make the tree mature or what the heck he did, but it sure thought, maybe it thought it was going to die being beat to hell like that.
We've had really good luck using the same kind of thing, but instead of doing that, we just did IMO applications. In Jamaica, there was like a 130-year-old mango tree that stopped producing a couple of years ago. We did one application of IMO, and within 3 months, it had full-blown flowers.
Huh. Nice. IMO does wonders.
Some of the old methods are pretty cool, though. If you look back at them, it's neat stuff.
Get aphids to start whipping the tree.
I very, very seldom spray for aphids outdoors. I find that the more I spray, the worse other problems become. And it's better just to try and let nature take its time and do its thing if you can. So outdoors, that's my strategy. If I don't have to spray, nothing goes out.
I just like to use more broader herbicides or pesticides. So using something like Bavaria bassiana, Azaria fumiceraceae, or IPMO, just to wipe out, any of the bad stuff is pretty good. I mean, you'll get some good stuff too, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, used to spray for mosquitoes a lot because down here we have a lot of moisture, a lot of wetlands. You get a lot of mosquitoes constantly in the summertime, and my missus doesn't like mosquitoes, but I used to spray all the time. But that was setting everything else out of balance and causing issues. So now it's like, okay, maybe use the repellent things instead. So we'll set the repellents out instead of spraying the entire yard. Let nature take its course. And now I'm finding things like lacewing eggs hanging around. And so, yeah, the beneficials are starting to come back in and do their job now that I'm letting everything else do their thing. The food's here, so the predators are here. But I've gone the other way. I mean, I can remember when I first started outdoor gardening, just, ornamental stuff. I was the pesticide king. Man, I had an answer for everything in a bottle. And that all went to hell in about 6 months. Once you get everything so far out of whack, everything starts going crazy. You get outbreaks of pests that just there's no stopping them. I mean, I can remember having the entire greenhouse was full of spider mites. I had to burn everything. It's crazy.
I finally got this loaded.
Ah, yeah, there it
We're in
is.
an undisclosed location in the mountains of Thailand, somewhere near Phetchabun. We'll leave it at that. I'm going to show you guys a bunch of actually wild, not wild Thai, but cultivated Thai strains here. Growing outdoors, a little straw, a little bit of fertilizer and drip line, but other than that, pretty rustic.
I'm looking on the sugar cane in the back.
This guy here is definitely the nicest plant in the whole plot here. Really nice structure, really nice node spacing. It smells like bubblegum, lemons, and gasoline. It's definitely different than all the others here. We have quite a few different, there's lots of males, some females, and some open pollination, but this one smells astounding. Definitely check it out. Thought it'd be fun to show you guys a more wild Thai type.
Mhm.
Have fun.
Good stuff.
Yeah. All right, guys. Yeah, so we'll have more videos like that here with more wild grows. What's up, American One?
What's up, Potent, Wes, Monkey? Yeah. How was last year's crop from that site? Potent? Did you sample that?
He smoked most of it, so it's we did smoke some of it, but it was I guess the biggest problem with it was the cure wasn't perfectly done. But other than that, the terps were really good. It just could have didn't have quite the Western understanding on curing. That's all.
Right. And yeah, I was gonna say about the fruit trees. Yeah, you got to let them know that someone's gonna be there to collect the fruit. So you got to hit the bark. And I heard a story. The guy bought a property and whatever fruit tree it was, and it produced no fruit. And I guess they were there for like a few years. And he happened to get a horse, and the horse used to hang out and scratch its back on the tree. And that year they got the horse, that thing started producing fruit. So yeah, there's something definitely to having the trunk hit or whatever. Let them know someone's there.
So if you
It
want
seems
good,
like.
you want good apples, you need to go massage your tree every morning.
It's like wagyu fruit.
No, I
Maybe.
mean, I don't know what it is, but I've heard it, and now you're confirming it. So yeah, there is something to it.
Maybe there is some to the tree huggers too.
My daughter's one of those. I swear, I've got pictures. We go on hikes, and she'll grab a tree. I feel so happy right now.
That's cool.
That's okay. I love her anyway.
That's real. Forest bathing makes you happier.
Oh yeah, man. That's all of her life. The happiest place she's ever been is in the wild. Should rather be there than anywhere else.
There you go. I think that's most of us.
Yeah, I'm with her.
Close to nature and away from the crowds.
Yeah, man. That's how I ended up in my career. Nobody
Same.
around.
Arguing over a moose with a bear.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
my original degree was IT, and then I used to do plant stuff and fish stuff before that, and then just kind of hated working, basically babysitting a bunch of 40-year-old toddlers. So I did that for a couple of months and was like, this is not what I want to do the rest of my life, and then went back to working in agriculture. So I feel you. What's new with your garden, American One?
Not too much. The one side's on right now. I could show you guys.
Sure.
I didn't. I don't know. I've never too. I don't get too technical and shit, but like a lot of people do. Let's see. I don't know how good it'll look. Even it's been a while since I don't know, I've been laying on all the. Hold on, let me do this. I've been laying on all the Instagram and everything. I haven't been posting much at all, but I have a few plants from seed here and 2 clones. And yeah, this camera is so weird. It's on the corner of my iPad, so it's not in the middle. It makes me like really weird out. All right, so yeah. The one's back over here. Oh, it's reversed too. That's bizarre. Yeah, it's reversed. That's why. All right, well, anyway, yeah, I got time wreck, 2 straight up time wrecks and 2 time wreck by blueberry. Actually, there's one has 2 seeds in 1 container, which I think is that one there. Yeah. I don't know exactly what week it is. Oh shit, I can't hear you guys. I have to drop out and come back in.
What?
I don't know. You're good.
Yeah.
We were just quiet.
Nobody said anything, that's why.
Oh, no, it looks good.
You're-
We're just
you're all good,
watching
man.
your video.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
We were just watching your video.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I have an iPad and the camera is totally bizarro. Is there a way I can change that? You guys know at all?
Change
It's like
what?
What do you mean?
Like what
What
was
do you
on what was on the screen, what was on the right of the screen was the left in reality.
Yeah, I know what you
Even-
mean. I've seen it on Zoom before. It's
Even when I
weird.
turned the thing around, it did it. You know what I mean? I thought I had to just flip it around or whatever, and that didn't do it either. But it makes it difficult being a cameraman. I'm gonna have to figure that out. But yeah, those are looking pretty healthy right now. And yeah, I didn't de-leaf like crazy or anything. We got like 40% humidity now, so I'm not too worried about any moisture problems. And I did lollipop them though, not as good as I should have maybe, but yeah, definitely lollipop. And yeah, that's what's happening over here for now anyway.
Cool. What else is new in your garden? Anything else?
Not really. Those time right by blueberry. Someone had asked me for those seeds, and when I breaking them out, they seemed so little to me, and they were little. But I always germ test everything. But I was just like, let me give these another germ test just to make sure, and that's why I got a whole bunch of those. So I figured I didn't kill them. I hate killing plants.
Yeah, man.
So I just went and potted them up and started them on their way to flowering. So I'm happy about that. It is pretty. It is. It is a difference of vigor when they're from seed and from clone. At least my latest cloning. I'm sure if I didn't skip a beat, it would be a lot closer. But I noticed a difference. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah. It's always good having some fresh seeds. And I'm going to, I don't know. Now that the temperatures are right, I have a lot more space I could work with. So I'm going to start adding this and that and everything else. So instead of paying a heating bill, I'll pay an electric bill, I think, this winter. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, man.
I'm going to add 1,000 watt and 600 watt, I think, in the one spot. Because I need the heat and I have the hoods. I just need to get, and the ballast now is stupid cheap. So that's all my thinking on that shit.
2 for 1, light and heat.
Yeah, exactly. But what I just showing you was an LED. I forget which one it is. My buddy just gifted it to me, and it seems to be kicking ass. It really does. I'm liking it a lot, I must say. But that they would never do in the spot where I'm going to put the 1,000 watt and the 600 watt. But it's already like, I'm not worried at all about the temperature being too hot already. I'm already a little worried it's going to get too cold with those, that area I'm thinking of. I already have two 4x4s down there with 600 watts in them, but I didn't have to turn on the heat, but still, doesn't get as warm as it should, as quick as it should, and stay as warm as it should. So, yeah, I could definitely add, and that's what I'm preparing to do.
Cool.
We've got a lot of guys in our UK area that use those HPS during the wintertime like that. Can't get them off of them, even though they have the LEDs. They say it's cheaper to run the HPS than it is to run the heater and the LED.
Yeah, and then so you get 2 for 1, like you were saying. One outlet you only got to plug into for that heat and light, whereas with an LED you need the LED plug and the heater plug. Well, I guess unless you do even like with natural gas, you need the fan to blow the heat. Whatever it is, it takes electric. So
It does.
yeah.
Fortunately, down this far south, I don't have to worry too much about heat in my tent.
Right.
You guys do anything else fun this week? I had see if I can pull up the flyer here. Let's see. So the Aquaponics conference is coming up. The Aquaponic Congress International Conference is coming up in Guadalajara, Mexico. And we did our recording for them this week. You guys can check them out there. They have a whole section on cannabis. We also have the virtual Aquaponic Cannabis Conference the first weekend of November as well, coming up, which will have a lot more information on this weekend. I'll be putting out the schedule and some other stuff and making sure that we can finalize everything with the rest of the speakers on times and all that stuff. So looking forward to that, but definitely check this out. You can get tickets online at aquaponicscongress.com. They have all kinds of vegetable or cannabis stuff or whatever else you're interested in. Be good times. I think it's November 1st through 6th. They have kind of a little bit each day. So that's pretty cool.
So I've seen
What other things?
So I've seen in the news that this Oklahoma vote that's coming up to get recreational cannabis. Is this also the one that's going to change everything in the Constitution and make it like in the Constitution now, to where they can't repeal it later?
So
this is the double duty kind of bill.
So they're doing a special election for cannabis, the cannabis initiative in March. So rather than having it be part of the main election, it's separate.
So
basically, Republicans didn't want it to influence the midterms. Let's just be honest as to why this is happening. There's nothing to do with anything other than the Republicans wanting to remove the wedge issue from their general vote, and for no other reason.
And, hey, well, I'm fine with that sometimes. Sometimes you got to say whatever. It's on their time, whatever.
I don't know. I'm just kind of sick of their bullshit, but whatever.
Well, I'm sick of both sides bullshit, to be honest with you. But
that's a good point.
Well,
I think it might help. Might help the legalization part, the marijuana part.
Either way, Oklahoma is going to have a special election in March, strictly voting on recreational, which is going to pass. But they have 280, and then we have 140, which I really wish Brendan Rust was on the show because he knows all about these bills in depth. But we'll definitely get him on here and go through them. But memory serves me right, 280 isn't too bad. It does have some stuff. I don't remember exactly which bill is in what.
The devil is always in the details. So could they both pass? Or no?
15%. No. So this bill didn't pass. It's going to be up for its own electoral.
Right.
So this is 15% excise tax to be imposed on adult use marijuana products. Revenue going to Oklahoma Marijuana Revenue Trust Fund. The funds would first cover the cost of administrative program. The rest would be divided between municipalities where sales occurred, 10%, and then state judicial revolving fund, 10%, general fund, 30%, public educational grants, 30%, and grant programs involved in substance misuse and treatment prevention, 20%. People serving in prison for activities made illegal during the measure could file a petition for resentencing and reversal of conviction, dismissal of case, and modification of judgment of sentencing. Those who already served their sentence, such as conviction, could petition to have it expunged. So
I just like how the first person they say they're going to pay is themselves.
Always
Of course.
politicians. Yes.
After administration fees.
But can like 280 and 140 both get voted to pass, or are they like against each other?
No, well, I don't want to miscomment and say the wrong thing. Again, I wish Brendan Rust was here because he knows all the different ones about Oklahoma that I'm not remembering at the moment. But it says, meanwhile, the other thing I want to mention is the Oklahoma Senate unanimously approved a House bill passed to allow the cultivation and administration of psilocybin by eligible institutions and research purposes. So, that's not too far behind in Oklahoma. So Oklahoma could soon be the most liberal state in the country when it comes to, personal use of recreational substances.
And that would be
Which is
statewide,
insane.
huh?
See, yeah.
Yeah, you see, that would be the difference. That's pretty incredible, man. If they make that happen.
Yeah, definitely crazy times. We'll see. There's going to be a big component to it as well with what happens in the election and whether or not the U.S. eats itself. There's that.
Never know what that's going to happen.
Well, you have one party that's just going to refuse to concede. So what do
There
you
was
do?
something I read. In the last few days, something about 4 places in Texas that are going to legalize weed. That was
Missed
really,
that.
yeah. It was slid past my news feed real fast. One of those things. I'm gonna have to look it up. But that would
It will be interesting. Be interesting to see what happens in Georgia. Beto O'Rourke is a douchebag and against Second Amendment rights, and I'm not at all pro him, but Captain Wheelchair over there is causing a lot of terror there, and can't even keep the lights on in his state. So he needs to go. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
And Clan Mom, Georgia's got a lot.
Well, not only that, but like the first thing he did was say he wasn't going to cancel student debt. It's like, yeah, why don't you boast about being a piece of shit? No, that's totally what you should do to win new votes, right? Like, and then the Republicans trying to petition now the Supreme Court to overturn student debt relief. What the fuck is wrong with you? Do you think anyone under the age of 40 is going to ever vote for you when you're trying to cut off help for them? No. Like, are you stupid? Like, you immediately just made, anyone 50 and under just completely uninterested in your party. Like,
no, that's okay. The people,
unless they were previously wealthy or had rich parents, right?
all
Like,
those people that are going to be affected, they're going to vote for him anyway because they understand. You know how that is.
Yeah. No, there's not too many. How many people went to college compared to how many people didn't go to college?
My problem is with it is not the debt relief. I think they should do more for debt relief for students, and they should do more for making education cheaper. In this day and age, we could with the internet and stuff, like it could be so much cheaper to educate people, but we're not moving that way. We're moving to making it more expensive, which is ridiculous.
And you need college less than ever. If you could totally give yourself all the degrees, take all the courses for free now through colleges. I'm not even talking about taking an equivalent class on like a website that you pay. I'm talking about taking like from Harvard or Yale or Princeton. They all have immense free college courses on botany, chemistry, biochemistry. UC Davis has a ton of free stuff. You can take all of these things for free. What are you going to pay for it for? Why? So you can have a piece of paper.
Yeah.
The fuck does that mean? When I know this, I know it or I don't. Right? Like it doesn't mean anything.
My problem is we're already in an inflationary crisis, and where's the money coming from? Like they're just going to print it from somewhere else, and it's just going to be more inflation down the road. So it's just more of the same. Like they're just throwing gas on the fire. But
not only that, but these loan companies crying because they loaned
agreed.
a bunch of teenagers hundreds of thousands of dollars and thought they would get paid back. Like, no, anyone with half a brain could tell you that wasn't going to work out. Like, are you stupid?
You
Like,
shouldn't
come
give
on. Would you give your niece
$10,000
$10,000 at a
exactly.
toy store when she's
With
8
no
years old?
collateral,
No,
zero
you wouldn't.
collateral, zero credit. Nothing.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
they don't have anyone but themselves to blame. The whole system was built on a predatory stuff that was built
Yep.
around mostly during the Reagan administration, which didn't exist before then. You know, my father and my mother both were able to work their way through college and pay each semester and still support themselves and afford to buy a car and afford to eventually buy a home. You can't do
Yep.
that.
You can't
Dude,
do
I
that
was
anymore.
having
No,
this
no.
Totally
discussion.
possible unless you
No, yeah,
are
no.
previously wealthy.
Dude, I would say America was better in 1950 than today. I was having this discussion with someone. He's trying to tell me.
Well, yeah, well, that's
Economically,
it's
Right,
kind of
exactly.
easy though to be doing well economically when the rest of the world is still in
Right after the war,
ruins from the
yeah.
Second World War, and you have all your
True that.
infrastructure and that's still going,
But
and
listen, I
manufacturing
didn't
still
say
going.
the cause
good-
of it. I'm just saying that, yeah. Like
But-
someone middle-aged in the 1950s had it better than a middle-aged.
Oh,
dude
100%.
today.
Because back then, with one income, you would have a house, you'd have 2 cars, and they'd have 15 kids, right?
And you have
Like-
a wife and his girlfriend on the side, you
Yeah.
know? And the wife
the
would be at home
secretary as
watching
well.
the kids while you were banging the girlfriend after work. It was great back then. No, I wouldn't know.
And then
but
you get the bowling ball, you go bowling. It's perfect.
Sounds like
sounds
the Flintstones or something here, man.
it sounds perfect to me. Leave the wife at home with the kids and take the girlfriend out after work for extracurricular activities.
But now it's changed to where
Yeah.
I would say 90% of the households don't have any choice but to have 2 people working and such, you know, like it's totally changed. And then education has gone up through the roof as they've made money available to students. The prices of education has gone up, and to where it's unaffordable now.
Well, they've built these massive multi-million-dollar universities everywhere. They got to use them for something. So, you know, they got to get paid back. They got all these people on
Man,
staff.
they panhandled for every bit of donation for every
I
one
know
of them
it, man.
goddamn buildings, man. You don't
I
want to be
know it.
alumni to anywhere.
Damn right. I get
they
letters
come
all the
hand
all
out
the time.
all the time. Like,
We're building this building. Don't you want to donate? No.
They don't
You-
even teach the kids how to drink beer anymore. I don't know
Tell
what
me
they're doing
about
at these
it.
colleges.
What's the rite of passage now, huh?
No hazing, no nothing.
Nothing.
Kids have no fun today. Like, I don't see when I was coming up, man, we had a blast. Like, yeah, I was saying this earlier, knock on wood. I lived a semi-charm kind of life, man. I had fun my entire existence. But these kids today, I don't know, man. They're in their own little worlds. I guess I don't even know if they know what fun is.
Well, we had a lot of fun when I
Drunk
was
at
in
a house
college.
party.
Yeah, man. It's one of those deals, though. You know, we had a heck of a lot of fun. Nobody got hurt. A few things got damaged. We fixed it, but we had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's what you did back in the day. It was
That's
kind of
pretty good that
expected,
nobody
though.
got hurt with you. We got
Well, that's-
lots of hurt, but we had lots of fun.
We always had the no hurt rule, but now things got broken sometimes. But yeah, whatever.
Dude, we threw things out people's windows. I had so much fun. But yeah, you know, going to a house party where everybody's drunk and the drunk chicks are drunk. Like, yeah, these kids today don't have that. They have the chicks freaking shaking their ass on Instagram. It's not the same. Let me tell you.
I can remember house parties where the house was literally shaking when the music came on because everybody was dancing so much. The house had a vibration in it.
I was at a cottage party. There were so many people on the patio, like all at once. The entire patio just like collapsed off of the house. Like, it was awesome.
Matter of fact, I think I met my wife at a kegger.
There you go.
She was
So you
hanging
have
in there late. I
quality.
was there late. It's one of those, hey, it was kismet, you know?
We had that happen at my buddy's house. We had a big party there, and there was like a sunroom on the outside, and we were going out of his bedroom onto the sunroom roof and then jumping into the pool. And too many people came out there at once, and the section collapsed, and we fell through into the sunroom.
Nice.
Not for the house owner though, but yeah.
You know, not for my buddy, but
Yeah,
not my problem.
yeah, exactly. Hey, great party. Sorry about the house. See ya.
See ya.
We had another friend of mine, Yali's house. my buddy played like hide the beer cans, so he hid beer cans like all over the house.
Oh man.
And I remember like it being like 8 or 9 months later, and we're like talking to this kid's dad and seeing one behind him and like having to like stealthily like get it into the trash. 'Cause no one had noticed it yet.
Nice.
My buddy Pat fell through the kitchen wall of that same place actually.
I put my leg through a skylight once. We were hanging out on the roof, and it was glass. And I didn't feel it at the time, but when I woke up, man, I had nastiest freaking gash in my leg. It was, yeah, it was fun.
So you woke up and saw the gash.
Yeah, that's all right though. I still drank the next day.
Sure, kill the pain.
I
I
fell
can
through
actually-
go ahead.
I could actually remember a college sanctioned kegger. You know, all you had to do was show up with your ID. It was all you can drink. Kegs were there. Just go for it. I think it was probably a 4-hour limit on it or something like that. But back in the day, that's what they did.
We had back I used to allegedly go up to Lehigh College and supply them with quite a few different things up there. And there used to be this rich girl who had bought like an old coffee shop and converted it into a private after hours. So you go and you pay like $60 or $80, but then it's open bar the rest of the night and there's no closing time. And me and my Russian buddies went up there one night, and there was like a frat there that was celebrating some bullshit. And they got drunk and we ended up fighting them. And it was hilarious to watch a frat fight a bunch of dudes from like South Moscow. It just did not go well for the frat boys. I'll put it that way.
No.
That was fun.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of BSing. We've been just kind of trying to gather as many cultivars as we can out here, and then just get used to everybody dealing with the molds and getting all the microbials together that we need to have all of our tool sets. So super stoked to just work on that. Sorry, I'm just rambling at this point this morning. Like smoked a lot of weed and haven't eaten yet. So.
Well,
Your
bust
gear is
open some
pretty big.
chips. You got about 6 bags of chips over there. Grab
Right?
some mayo chips. Go for it.
Actually, American one was in here. We got truffle. We got a Heinz mayonnaise.
Yum.
That sounds nasty.
I'm telling
I
you.
know, right?
We got
I guess that's like
terrible.
English.
nori and seaweed sushi.
I'd rather have that than the mayo ones.
We got what's this one? Chili crab.
See the chili
Chili
crab, I'm down with
crab?
that.
I could do that.
I
I
can
could
do
try
that.
that, but,
No,
you know,
they have one that's like they have one that's like a super spicy squid, and I'm like, man, I don't know if I could try that one. Like, that's I don't know, man.
I don't know. They almost sound like Fear Factor items to me.
mhm.
The truffle's really good.
That
The
sounds
mayonnaise
good,
is
yeah.
really good. I haven't tried these two yet. I would imagine the chili crab is probably pretty tasty. The sushi's the question mark on that one.
Question mark for sure.
I don't know. That mayo one's pretty questioning for me.
I
Especially
don't know,
when you
that-
said that the mayonnaise over there
gas
is
station.
sweet.
Gas station sushi chips.
I think that's a
Gas
thing
station sushi. Okay.
in England, right? They put mayo on the fries.
The Dutch, I know in Holland, I dated a Dutch girl that,
Yeah.
and she,
Belgium and Holland, yeah.
she was like, we all put mayonnaise on our French fries there. I'm like,
Wow.
you fucking
I could see
weirdo.
mayo ketchup
You
mix,
monsters.
maybe, but
No,
If
pure
you order
mayo,
mayo,
man.
If you
Yeah.
order fries in Thailand, they have like a little dish, and one side is ketchup, one side is mayonnaise. But in Africa and in Jamaica and in probably Antigua too, they do white vinegar, which is really fucking good.
Is it wet?
Malted vinegar, not white vinegar. Sorry.
Is it like sauce or is it like liquid?
Liquid,
No,
isn't it?
I don't want. I hate to interrupt your bong rip there.
It's like like water. It's really thin.
Okay.
Yeah. They just,
Vinegar's
they
like real.
just like the English do it too. They just throw
Fish and
vinegar on
chips,
their
man.
chips too.
Mhm.
Interesting.
That's from colonial. That's from colonial time. That was
You know, I say I try anything once except gay sex. I'm not interested in that, but I would try the vinegar for sure on my fries. Yeah, some waitress at a diner suggested brown gravy on the cottage cheese, and I tried that. That's pretty damn good, I must say.
Now, what's that again? What on cottage
You're
cheese?
halfway to poutine there.
Oh, is that what the cheese part is on the poutine? No, cottage
So
cheese.
poutine is cheese curds, which is not that far off.
That's not that far off, right?
Okay.
Because now I'm not, I tell everyone that mashed French fries with melted mozzarella and brown gravy, that is bomb right there. That's like, you don't have to be drunk to love that. But if you're tipsy at all or stoned, that shit's legit.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
But,
there's a place in Montreal called Frito, and you can get 24-hour delivery of like 60 different toppings on your poutine. It is amazing.
That is brilliant.
Actually, you probably know it, Wes. Frito. Do they have Frito where you are? Do you know Frito? It's like a Quebec chain.
Oh yeah, you mean the like the chips brand?
No. Frito. It's like a chain. They do delivery poutine.
No, we don't
Like
have
all hours.
No.
Yeah.
That's Frito-Lay, like my mom.
Yeah, Frito-Lay is the one you're thinking. The Frito is like I came back to my house and it's 4 o'clock in the morning and I'm drunk as shit and I need food. You order Frito.
I'm a drunk shawarmas guy.
Shawarma's good. I can do that.
Thank God I quit drinking. That's all I got to say about this.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I was like a horrible drunk, but a couple times it's like rolling the dice,
You have Schwartz's there in Montreal. Have you never been to Schwartz's? You haven't had deli meat.
I have not been to Schwartz's.
You have not had deli meat.
It's on Saint Denis.
Yeah.
Also, if you're an American, get your passport and go to Montreal. It's like an hour from the New York border and is the most European city in all of North America. It's like a whole other country. It's awesome. And any kind of music that you're into, you can find. If you're into racing, they have F1 racing. You watch Indy cars race down the main street in Montreal and down St. Catherine, like just all kinds of jazz festivals, kink festivals, anything you can think of. Amazing botanical gardens, like just it's a cool place.
So, Paul, you've been in a lot of places. Does America have the best food in the world, or what?
I don't know, man. Thailand's giving you a good run for the money. But variety, I don't know. I would say certain cities in America, like New York or Philadelphia or San Francisco, because they have so much diversity, have incredible food. But I wouldn't say all of America. I would say certain cities in America.
Yeah, definitely certain where there's like New York delis. Anyway, I understand, like in England, the only edible stuff is like Haagen-Dazs and French fries, like you guys. But that might have changed since these people I know went and visited. I never went to England.
All my friends in England eat KFC and McDonald's, man. They don't eat anything else.
There you go. They got nothing better than.
Got the Vegemite and the what's the sandwiches with the jam that the Queen used to eat with the bear?
Marmalade.
Marmalade sandwiches.
Marmalade and Vegemite.
I like
tea and biscuits. Right?
That's an old Pink Floyd tune.
Anything else that you guys have seen lately in terms of like gardening methods or techniques? I know we were talking earlier about using coconut water for IMO. Have you guys found any other maybe interesting tidbits or things that you think you're going to try or you're interested in getting feedback on or anything that you read lately?
Nothing I can think of off the top of my head. Let me think on that.
Not so much about cultivating, but there was an interesting article that some insects have gotten plant DNA, and it's in their DNA now.
Yep.
So I don't know exactly how do they know it wasn't in the insect first? But whatever the case is, that's what the article basically said. which is mind blowing.
That's called horizontal gene transfer.
Well, I know that happens with like bacteria that's all mixed up together, right? Also,
Yep.
But I never heard like insects actually from the plants that they eat end up adopting their
Well, funny enough, humans do that too. So our immune system will take a part of the DNA that our immune system needs to create antibodies. And that's part of like, if your mom has been exposed to a lot of different diseases, you have a higher base resistance to it. That's why it takes a piece of the DNA sequence from that so it can create antibodies to it and add it to your genome. That's what back in the day, they used to call it junk DNA. It's not junk DNA at all. It's a reference table so that it can create antibodies or other compounds based off of the DNA from other things that it's collected. So there's a lot more to this stuff. And that's why I often say, hey, look, this GMO stuff in the future is great. But right now, we don't understand this shit enough to make conscious and responsible decisions. If they're just now figuring out that insects can pull DNA from plants, how many of the GMO plants that we've already released have now affected the environment that we didn't even realize, right? Like this is the Pandora's box that everyone's been warning people about. And look, the GMOs have potential to create a better world for us. No one's disputing that. But we got to make sure we get all the homework done first before we go out and release any of the shit into the wild, because we could create a lot of damage very quickly and not have any way to ever reverse it. And that's what scares the shit out of me about some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, CRISPR, people messing with CRISPR or have already done some scary shit. They were trying to make a disease-resistant cassava plant, I think it was called.
Cassava,
and yeah. And whatever they did, they made some sort of virus they couldn't kill it.
Actually, no. I know the white paper you're talking about.
Dude, that's crazy.
Probably heard it on my show.
I don't know
where. So what happened was they tried to make a neutered version of mosaic virus, cassava mosaic virus.
Yep.
And then release it into a population. Well, the CRISPR ended up hybridizing with the mosaic virus, and it ended up being able to literally like immediately piece apart the DNA sequence of the cassava and just melt it into liquid. Like literally like something you'd see in like an alien movie, right? Like it created something that was far more dangerous than the base thing that they were trying to, like infinitely more dangerous to the world's cassava population.
Total opposite of what they were trying to do. Yep. And if that got released out into the world, the plant life would be, I think it would have affected all plant life, right, Putin? It would have killed everything. Like, it's crazy thinking about CRISPR.
Well, the nice thing about a lot of the mosaic viruses is they're pretty, not entirely, but many of them are pretty hyper species or genus specific. So that's, I guess, one good thing about it. But like, for instance, like the tomato one can jump to cannabis, but they're all Rosaceae, right? So like, they're still within the same family. So it makes sense that they can easily jump between immune systems of those different plants because it's a base, most of the DNA in that part of the plant's the same, right? So that makes sense. But that, again, this just goes back to, hey, no one's arguing that GMOs in the future are going to be a huge, potential savior to humanity when it comes to food production. But there's a lot of reckless shit going on right now, and people are doing stuff that is not being done responsibly, and it's not being regulated with the seriousness that it should be. And this is the kind of examples where, hey, you could accidentally create something that is a complete disaster. I mean, another example, which it was at Boston University or something this week, had a new COVID virus that has 80% mortality rate. Like, why are we doing that? Didn't we learn this shit in Wuhan when the Chinese did it? I thought we learned this lesson the first time.
No, if you look at Ukraine, we didn't learn from Vietnam, even though it's not our blood, it's all of our money.
Yeah, well, that's a sensitive topic here, so.
Okay, yeah, we don't have to go down that rabbit hole.
But yeah.
I always say peace. We should side on peace. We should be negotiating our way out of this. I don't think anything's going to change. I think we're just,
All right, I thought we were going to drop it.
No, it's fine. There's certain couple of topics here that I got to be careful on. So that's one of them. Then you can't, the other things that are sensitive here are like, well, some politics, and then you don't mention anything negative about the monarchy here or anything like that. I'll get you in real quick trouble.
But because you're in Thailand right now.
Right, right.
Yeah.
I got it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and a lot of people here are not too thrilled about the Vietnam War. So.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Or
Peace is great.
more so how America abandoned them afterwards. That's what they're pissed off about. Understandable.
Yeah, there's a lot of that abandoning going on, wasn't there? But in any case, the peace is all good, but how do you achieve it is the real question mark, and that's what yeah. But yeah, this CRISPR thing really freaked me out because, like, if someone it's only like a $50,000 machine, I believe. You get some crazy madman splicing all sorts of crazy.
4,000.
4,000. That's it.
Yeah, it's probably cheaper than that now. The last time
Yeah.
I priced one out, it was 4,000. It's probably like 1,500.
I'm glad entries got
So,
cheaper.
but you
There's
need
an
the knowledge to
interesting-
know how to work it though. But still,
No.
like,
But you can. This is a weekend of YouTube, and you're dangerous. Like this
so-
is not.
not advertise this right now, but because yeah, someone could like
No,
make
there's
a
a great-
virus that'll kill all cannabis. I guess our government could have done it already, right?
They could have.
Yeah,
But there's a great documentary on this that kind of covers all aspects or a lot of the important aspects. I feel like it's on Netflix called Unnatural Selection. And they go everything from a guy who's kind of personally trying to cure herpes and HIV himself and creating drugs and then offering them to people once he's developed them to a certain point. If you have either of those issues, he offers it to them and there's no medical anything on it. He's just like, hey, we're trying to figure this out. We think we figured it out. If you want to volunteer to be a guinea pig, be a guinea pig, but it's outside of the normal medical system. And the medical system is freaking the fuck out that some rando might undermine them. And so they talk about that aspect of it. Then they have a young child who's losing his eyesight to a neurodegenerative thing, but they can give him stem cells into his eyes that will reverse it and allow him to see. And then they have another guy that wants to make glow in the dark dogs because he just wants to sell glow in the dark dogs. And like all these different aspects of DNA stuff and CRISPR and from many different angles and talking about the responsibility. And then there's another guy that wants to use gene drive to wipe out foreign species. So if you have an invasive rat species in New Zealand, you can wipe them out and only target that species. So he's trying to work on that. So they talk about the good and the bad, like both sides of the sword with GMOs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a really good documentary and very balanced when they talk about, the positives.
Sorry, what was that called again, Potent?
Unnatural Selection.
Unnatural Selection.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it like that, someone could consider me an invasive species and wipe me off the face of the earth.
Well, that's one of the things that the CIA types can get. You could make a virus that kills one human on the planet because it has to match the DNA, right? So if you're trying to just, assassinate a world leader or some other person, maybe a terrorist leader or someone else that's threatening the world, and I'll let people decide who they feel is threatening the world in their own view. You could absolutely make a virus that just targets their DNA if you had a sample of it, and then you could infect yourself, shake their hand, and then that's that, right? Like that's the kind of crazy shit that you're going to see in the future. That's not that far away or is even currently being used.
Somebody was warning about 23andMe selling the DNA information to China, and how China could just do exactly what you just explained, and it was more scare tactics than anything else. I don't no one's gonna. China isn't gonna pick out Grandma, Auntie Louise or whatever to do a DNA kill on, but they were talking. That's how easily it could be done, though.
Yep. No, it's crazy how quickly all that advanced in a rapid period of time. And I think you're going to see a second revolution too with this micropin testing, because you can test for endophytes, you can test for live and activated genes versus inactivated genes, and all these other things that are much more advanced than you can with qPCR. So it's kind of like going from like old school analog TV to like 4K, right? Like you suddenly can see a hell of a lot more detail into the same thing that you're already looking at. So it's going to be a big revolution in a lot of our understanding, especially when it comes to the soil relationships between the plants and what's going on with the different microbes and how it's affecting the plant's DNA and secondary production of different, compounds. So that's going to be we're going to suddenly have a way better understanding of exactly what's going on with our plants.
Potent, do you know how that horizontal, does anyone know how that horizontal gene transfer ends up like actually happening?
None of that's understood. None of that's understood hardly at all.
They
Like
just know it happens.
Some instances of that are, but a lot of the mechanisms for that, first off, are only discovered in the last 5 years or less. And then of the ones that were, they don't understand how that's happening on a integration level and how they're doing it. That's a lot of the stuff they're understanding now. I mean, it's part of where CRISPR came from was one of those discoveries.
Oh, okay. That really is fascinating. And when you see the rhizophagy cycle, like the plant actually takes in the bacteria and rips off its cell wall. So I could see like DNA transferring through that, procedure somehow.
Yeah.
But, other than that, you think like, who knows? Like they say, we have more microorganism cells in our bodies than human cells, supposedly. So it's just really bizarre what they're finding out.
Absolutely. Well,
what were you doing bone rips of?
I am doing bone rips of White Nightmare. In fact, you can see some. Oh, I switched cameras. Sorry.
Lineage of that? Do you know offhand?
I don't know. I'll have to get the name of it.
And how about you, Wes? What are you sucking on over there?
I have Oaxacan Thai is what I'm smoking right now.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So Oaxacan is Mexican and Thai is Thailand.
Yes.
I'm smart.
Yes, sir.
I'm just smoking on some Blueberry by Cheesequake, which
Nice
I love.
stuff. Cool.
And you, Monkey, what were you about to say? What are you hitting? Anything?
This is Crystalline Entity, something that was bred by a friend, temple grower out of Saskatoon. It's a
very cool
blueberry OG by Romulan Kush.
Nice.
That sounds interesting.
It does sound
pretty good. It has a nice flavor to it. He had 3 different moms, same lineage, so he's got 3 different names out because he said they all came out slightly different. So
there you go. I have seeds that were labeled Romberry that somebody gave me, and there's one female I have. It just gets me high in a weirdest way, like, and I love it because it's so different. Like I say that all the time. Shit that's like weird. I have that time rack which just smells weird, and it works. Get you like normal high, but this Romberry shit, it's kind of like, it's not anxiety, but it gets me like the wah 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 and fucked up for like a second. I'm like, man.
The punch drunk feeling at first, huh?
Yeah, like stand up quick, gotta say time out, hold on a second, shit like that. Yeah. But it's different than all the other shit. So I'm keeping that bitch around. I'm gonna hit that with some Cheesequake. I'm getting ready to make more Amy Aces and some other Cheesequake crosses that I had in the past and some new ones too. Because that Cheesequake father is proven out to be fucking legit. If I knock on wood, don't say so myself.
Don't jinx it.
All right. He's a stud.
Yeah, I just realized we haven't uploaded last week's episode in audio format. I'll try to get to that.
I have not done anything about the Apple link yet, so I apologize to everyone for that. I will get moving on that.
No worries.
Nope.
I
no
can't
worries
do
at
the
all.
Apple link on my side, but
it's like people that are hungry, make them wait longer and the food will taste better.
You can find us on SoundCloud. We are on SoundCloud and a couple of the other platforms now, so you can find us that way, and then on YouTube. But we don't have everything fully set up yet. It's a work in progress, especially with me moving across literally the other side of the planet. It takes me a little bit longer to get everything organized.
Yeah, what time is it there? I see the sun's out.
Yeah, here. So it's currently 11:03 a.m.
All right, so yeah, almost literally 12 hours. It's 11-hour difference, right?
Yeah, 12 hours from CST. Yep, 11 from EST.
Yeah.
14 from Pacific. Yep, literally the opposite side of the planet from where I was. 12-hour difference.
I had tried digging a hole in China once when I was a kid.
Did you make it?
Never made it.
I tried it too. You know how it is.
I didn't even get to where the ground was hot yet.
Down this far south, if you dig too deep, you hit water, so you got to stop digging.
Yeah, exactly. That's what happened.
We dug out a big, there's a big giant, what was it, hickory nut tree. And we dug out underneath of it, underneath the root system. So we kind of had the roots as like part of the roof of it. And then had a deep, deep, deep hole where we could kind of hang out and smoke. And then my mom was worried it was going to collapse. So my dad came in one day and helped us brace it with 4x4 beams and all. And put some wood in so that it wouldn't collapse on us and all.
I thought you were going to tell me Mom thought it was going to collapse, so Dad came in and tore it down. But that's cool.
No. They tried that the first 4 times and we just dug it back out.
You taught them. If you can't do it right, hey, look.
Yeah. I also come from a family of engineers between my grandfather and my dad. So
so you had
they're looking at it from a whole other angle than Mom was, They're like, oh, well, let's make it safe then. But we had a big tree house that had like 4 floors that you could see from the front of the house.
That's fucking cool.
Higher than the height of the house was. So that was pretty neat. And like we just did a bunch of cool stuff that we were always building as kids and somehow never killed ourselves doing it.
Yeah, now kids don't even leave the house anymore. That's what I was saying.
We talked about this on one of the other shows. Like the different stuff that we used to do as kids would get us arrested or put on like a watch list or something now. Like,
yeah, we get our parents to jail nowadays.
Yeah. Or blasting trees apart and stuff like that. You get so much doing that now. Holy crap. Not only that, but like you could go to your local library and get all the information you needed to do that. Like that also was like and you could go to the local hardware store and the guy at the hardware store would give you like the biggest thing of gunpowder and help you. Like they'd help you.
You can buy black powder at the hardware store.
Okay, well just make sure you put a long enough fuse on it. You'll be all right.
Does your daddy know you're getting this? Yes, sir. No problem.
What'd you say you're doing with this here?
For the gopher hole. For the tree stump.
Exactly. We learned that methane is lighter than air. And if you get a lawn and leaf bag, you can fill it with methane. And we would tie the bottom with just a twist tie. But before we would do that, though, we would tape a piece of cannon fuse to the side of it that was about maybe 2.5 feet long. And you'd light the fuse and let the thing go up in the sky. And it'd be about 100, 150 feet in the air. And all of a sudden, this big ball of fire would just burst into flames when the fuse hit the side of the bag and burned through. And this is in the middle of a city. People would be calling UFOs and stuff. We got into so much trouble for that, but it was fun.
It sounds like fun. I want to do it today.
It works, but just warning.
We had lots of groundhog problems. My uncle had a Christmas tree farm. And we had lots of problems with groundhogs because he used to have cows that would roam because the cows don't eat the pine trees, but they eat all the grass in between. And the groundhogs would make holes and they break their legs. And then they have to put the cows down and it's expensive and pain in the ass. And they don't want to have to put the cows down until they're ready to harvest them. So we used to go out and they'd move the cows out of the field for a couple of days. And we'd have like a piece of wood with a couple of branches on it, act as springs. And then we'd have a piece of plate on the bottom of the wood, and then a plate would sit on the ground, and then we put like a I can't say the full word without us getting flagged, but a cherry
That, yes.
firework.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that, so I don't get in trouble. Inside of a ball of steel wool, like you get at the store, like SOS or whatever, and then put that on there, and then put the piece of wood on there and connect it to like a 9-volt battery, so that when the little groundhog comes out of his hole, he push down on it, connect the circuit with the steel wool, the 9-volt battery, and create the sparks, and then it would light your fireworks, and you launch those groundhogs like 20, 30 feet in the air.
Yep.
And then no more groundhog problem.
Nope.
Bill
That
Murray
was something
needed
we
you
used to do as
guys.
kids.
Bill
Exactly.
Murray needed you guys in Caddyshack.
Yeah, coal fire. Lights the heads off, throws the plastic down in the hole. Wow.
And there's a movie we should do a sequel. Let's do a sequel to Groundhog Day. That would be hilarious. Especially now that he's like all, that much older. It'd be even funnier.
No.
Yeah, not again. Oh man.
Bill Murray's best part was Zombieland. Did you guys see Zombieland?
Yeah, that was really funny.
Yeah.
That was funny,
really
right?
good.
They kill him. The movie.
He plays himself, yeah.
Yeah, just kind of put some makeup on and walk around like they do. They don't seem to notice. That was a good movie. There's a really cool documentary about him where they like talk about like all these different, because he'll just like be like in a city for a couple days, and he'll just like walk around the street and hear a party and just like let himself into the building or climb up a fire thing and come through the window and then like hang out with everybody for a couple hours, like order some food and beers and then leave and just disappear like a ghost. But it's like all these different stories of him doing that in the documentary. It's pretty funny. I watched it on one of my plane flights when I was going from somewhere to somewhere.
Yeah, he seems cool. I've heard stories that Chevy Chase ain't too cool. I never met him, but I heard stories.
Yeah. You know who's great too is what's his name? That guy.
Yeah,
that guy.
That guy.
I think we'll wrap up the show. I gotta get some other stuff done today. It's about 11:30 here, unless Wes wants to take over the show. If you guys want to keep hanging out.
I mean, up to these guys. I don't know. It's been a good show out of either way.
Really do need to go spend some time with the missus before she ends up going to bed. So that's just kind of normal for me.
I have some stuff I got to get to too.
All right, we'll call her.
May as well
call her there.
That'll work.
But I want to know that guy though before Potent goes. He's not going to remember.
Yeah, I'll think of it eventually.
I know Keanu Reeves was one of them that is like supposed to be this super kind, really nice guy. Does good for others all the time.
Lennox Lewis was super nice in person. He was really chill, and a really nice guy. Inside and outside of business relations. So that was really cool.
I heard Robin Williams was really down to earth and like would hang out with the bus boys and shit every once in a while. Like hang out with just people that were regular, for lack of a better word. Yeah,
like us.
Yeah, like us. You hang out with people like us.
Right. Alrighty, well, how can people find you there, American One?
You go to the American One _with_18s on the IG. And if you guys are interested in getting some seeds, I got amyaces.com. We'll take you to Dagger Gardens, and I'm mailing restock probably day after tomorrow, so they'll be there. So that's the way.
Sweet.
Cool. What are you up to, Monkey?
Man, find me over at Monkey Do Grows on Insta. I'm there a little bit here and then. I'm also run Percy's Grow Room's Insta. You can also find me on Sunday on High on Homegrown. We do a show live at 4 o'clock Eastern time every Sunday afternoon. And the easiest place to find me is Percy's Grow Room. I'm always around. Just ask. Everybody knows me there.
And Monkey, you guys are interviewing Jordan, right? Or did you already? I missed it.
We did interview him already. We pre-record and then it's edited
okay.
and goes out. Mackey's a perfectionist. We don't go out raw. It has to be polished before he releases stuff. So
That's no fun, man.
no, we do it live though.
Okay.
Except for
Do it
when I
live,
crash
but it's
the show.
recorded.
Yeah, the YouTube versions are all as is. That they're not edited, but anything on that's downloaded for audio only is all edited and polished.
Okay.
Hey, we cheat. It's okay.
That works. Yeah, no worries.
What about you, Wes?
Well, you can find me over at Wesingine on Instagram and obviously here and over on your show, Growing with Fishes. And where's the best place for people to find you, Potent?
Find me on SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, all the things on Potent Ponics are Going with Fishes. We'll also be live tonight at 8 o'clock Thailand time, which I believe is 6 a.m. Pacific time. So if you're interested, we'll be live doing the show because I have to travel at the normal time we do on Thursday evening. We'll be headed out to a different part of Thailand to go film a really cool cannabis market this weekend. So that's going to be really dope. But I will be driving, unfortunately, way out of cell phone range when we're doing that. So to make sure we can still have a show for you guys, we're going to do that. And then we'll have a little bit of a cool little surprise video for you guys at normal showtime. So stay tuned and we'll see you guys then. Thanks everybody for watching. You can also find this show, DatSmokeShow, on SoundCloud and Spotify. We'll be adding more additional websites and iTunes and other things here as soon as we get a chance to. Again, please bear with us, but you can find us in audio format as well. So if you're listening to us at work, doing trimming or whatever else, check us out. And please tell your friends, like, subscribe, leave a good rating on the show, whatever it is that you have access to. And thanks, guys. Cheers.
Yeah, peace out, everyone.